Hi YouTube, welcome Pagan Perspective. This is Megan, aka Sabirisuri. Today is Friday and I am your host. So today we are talking about types of magic. So the question asker talks about the confusion on are there types of magic, and if so, what's the difference like between folk magic and ceremonial magic and hoodoo, and is hoodoo magic and all of that. So basically, my take on it, my pagan perspective is, so for me, magic is an entity all into itself. So magic exists in the world everywhere, in the universe, okay? It just is. And we tap into that. I like to think of magic like a web, right? It's this kind of web that just covers all of everything, all of the universe, all of the earth, all of it. And we're able to pull on strings of it, right? To do different things that we want. We're able to, manipulate certain aspects of it if we know the right way to do it. And the way to pull on those threads and the way to manipulate sort of that global network, right? That universal network of magic, there are different ways to access it, right? Depending on what you want to do, depending on who you are or how you were trained or what you believe in, things like that. There are different ways to access it. It doesn't mean that there's only one right way to access that universal web. And so that's where we get all these different paths, right? All these different types of magic. And we call it a type of magic because I think that that's just in people's vernacular, but it's not really a type of magic. Magic is just this universal entity, right? And we have different ways of accessing that magic. So that's the way that I look at it. So folk magic is going to access that magic in a very particular way. A kitchen witch, for example, might use her spoon when she's stirring something, a soup, for example. And that's going to be like a wand would be in a ceremonial magic, right? So it's all about how do we direct that magic into whatever we're doing? How do we pull that thread and wrap it around whatever we're doing, right? And so the idea is that is how that person would access this universal web, whereas someone who practices ceremonial magic would access it in a very different way, right? They need to have all their tools very specifically laid out, what they, wear on their body, their ritual bath, all of those things are very important. So there's just these different aspects of it. And it's the same with hoodoo. Hoodoo is, a very specific path. Right? It's different than voodoo. It's its own thing. It's sort of the folk version, right? And it has its own way of dealing with this universal web that we have of magic. And they access the web in a very particular way and a very prescribed way to be able to achieve the results that they want. My path, I access magic in a very particular way that is very specific to my family. Someone in Wicca, for example, is going to access the web the way that they were taught, right? Or the way they've learned from a book, right? They're going to access the web in a different way. And so witchcraft is just another way of accessing that web, right? Accessing that universal energy that is all around us all the time, which is magic. So hopefully I'm explaining it right. That's how I see magic and hoodoo and Wicca and ceremonial magic and folk magic and kitchen witchery and all of that. Hedge witchery, they all have just a different way of going about getting at the good stuff, So yeah. So that would be it for today, guys. Quick video because I need to get to work. So actually filming this very early for me. So I wanted to send out so much healing energy and thoughts to everyone affected with Harvey, and just so many protective thoughts to all those in Irma's path. And, I have family in Florida and in Georgia and Puerto Rico. So it's just, right now is a scary time. And so, the more positive energy that we can put out there into the web, the hopefully, the safer everyone can be. So just my heart is with everybody, and so many intentions for safety. You know, keeping people safe. That's the key. So, but love and blessings to everybody, and I hope you have a phenomenal weekend, wherever you might be. And as always, guys, blessed be and aloha.